Geno, was the third quarter about as well as you guys have played this year?
I mean, given who the competition was, yeah. I mean, we've had quarters where we played really, really well, you know, whether we shot the ball well or just played well in general. But given the quality of the team we were playing against, I would say, yeah, that was pretty good. We did a lot of really great things in that quarter, and at both ends, you know, on offense and defense. And that pretty much ended the game right there.
You know, with Kristen, there have been things in recent games or even in practice that showed you she wasn't as tentative tonight. She seemed more sure of herself, really looking much more like she did against Notre Dame.
Yeah. Some kids are just, they're thinkers, you know, they think too much and they want to do the right thing all the time, you know, so they're constantly thinking about, what do I have to do, you know, what am I doing? And she got caught a little bit in thinking about playing instead of playing, thinking about, well, what should I do when I get it, instead of just trusting her instincts, you know. But experience helps, you know, little by little. The more games we play, the more practices we have, the more she's starting to feel comfortable. I mean, obviously, our 5 starters are crucial, you know, as you can see tonight, and if we get great contributions from all 5 of them, we can really be a really good team. And as someone who's a scorer like she is, it'd be a crime really to not, you know, get her the ball a lot and have her do a lot.
You know, what can you say about Nafisa? Just, you know, obviously self-care. They got up to a hot start, you know, she was making shots and keeping you guys close.
You know, I said this the other night, and every coach talks about their players. I mean, as if they're, you know, the best players ever. And I usually don't get caught up in that stuff, you know. But there can't be anywhere a player that's playing better or does more for their team than Nafisa Collier does. I don't see that that's possible. Now, granted, I haven't seen every game, every week, in every conference. I don't know, but there's something about her that's just rare. You just don't see it. You just don't see it at all.
Geno, South Carolina 27 points in the first, 28 in the middle 2 quarters. A matter of them missing some defensive adjustments. What did you guys do that maybe slowed them down? Or
The way the first quarter went, that's at the end of the quarter. That's exactly what I said. I said, look, they're not going to keep making that many shots. I don't think. I said, but if they get 30 every quarter, I said, we're not going to win. There's just no way we can win. So we just tried to keep changing things, and if we found something that was working, we stayed with it until it wasn't, and then we kept changing again until, you know, we found something for a while. And when Olivia came in, I thought the defense changed, because now all of a sudden we had a bigger presence in the lane. So they were forced to shoot more and they didn't get to the basket as often, because their guards are really hard to stop. We just can't stop them. I mean, I said that before the season started. We can't guard anybody. We have to make a lot of shots against really good teams. We have to make a lot of shots. We made a lot of shots tonight, but we got to make a lot of shots. Otherwise, we're going to lose. If we have a bad shooting night, we're going to lose, plain and simple, because we just don't have a lot of other ways to win.
Geno, does the 39 minutes before the starters bug you at this point? I mean, obviously in a game like this, you got to go as much as you want
No.
moving forward.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. Because if they weren't playing 39 minutes today, they would have been practicing for 2 hours. So Do I worry mentally that they don't get a break? Yeah, that I worry about. I don't worry about physically. I worry about, can I get them a couple minutes here and there? And I haven't done a good job of that. I haven't been able to find a way to do that. I'm disappointed in the job that we've done with our bench. Because I told our team, those last 3 minutes, we looked a little tired. But we also played through it and made some great plays too, those last 3.5 minutes. So.
You touched on Feast a little bit. How she doesn't get emotional any of this time. It's always the same
Yeah.
stare, nothing.
Yeah.
You don't see, I mean, just talking, do you ever see it? Does she have a pulse?
Yeah, no, I don't think she does. Not at all. She has the perfect temperament for a great player. She's never in a hurry. No one gets her out of her rhythm, out of her tempo. And she's gonna shoot the ball when she's ready to shoot it. Nobody's gonna make her shoot a shot she doesn't wanna shoot, which is unique, you know? She'll give you 3 fakes in the lane until you finally go for one, and then she'll get the shot she wants. I thought she made some really tough mid-range shots today that are not easy to make. They're tough shots to make. So, you know, between her and Lou, you know, it was too, you know, when I was plotting the season, at the beginning of the season, I said, how in God's name are we gonna get to 80, 85? Because I don't see it. And I thought, Fisa, Lou, and Crystal all have to get 20 every night. If we get 60 from those 3, then we got a chance. Maybe. Megan and Kristen add something. That's still the case. We just got 60 out of those 2 instead of the 3, but we got 70, you know. But that's where we are, and I don't think that's changing. So if anybody thinks all of a sudden we're gonna become a team that plays really good defense and locks people up, that ain't happening. Nope.
You know, in the third quarter, it seemed like you got more baskets in transition.
Mm-hmm.
Did they stop making shots they made in the first half?
Yeah.
Or were it because of things you did defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they had to work a little bit harder to get them because they weren't coming as easily. So when they did shoot and they missed, we were in better position to run. And sometimes when you play zone, you know, you give up some things, but I think you get some things in return. And we ran the floor pretty well that third quarter. What was the rebounding numbers? Wow, 39-27. That's a big surprise. But then again, Fisa got 16, so I didn't know if we'd be able to keep them off the boards the whole game, but we did.
Geno, is this year then the exception for the rule of like going hard on defense all the times? You're gonna spend so much energy and you're not very deep, you kinda, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, no, you can't fool these kids. They're smart. You know, they're smart. They, the seniors, the juniors, even the freshmen now are getting smart. I think they look at, in the huddle, I think they go in and they go, what's he gonna do, take me out? He's young, get your hands up. What if I don't? What, am I gonna come out? Back in the day, yeah, you would. I might sit you on the bench the rest of the week. Now they go ahead, I dare you.
You know, with
It's
Kristen,
a
do you
brave
think,
new world, huh?
do you think Kristen, with her being taken out, you know, in high school, she sure never sat.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's kind of where the light goes off and says, you know what, I'm gonna make him keep me in by playing better?
Yeah, well, that's what I tell all the kids that. If I take you out, it's because either you're in foul trouble, Megan got herself in foul trouble a little bit, and if I take you out because of effort, you might not get back in. I don't care, I'd rather lose than watch you walk around the court like that. And then they realize, all I have to do is play hard. I don't have to make every shot, I don't have to do everything perfect. I just have to compete really, really hard. And eventually, you know what, they learn to do that, because they all want to play.
You know, from the first quarter, the way that went to then third quarter, Crystal, the backwards, behind the back pass, I mean, how did you see the confidence level go from where it went, and how did you feel about them and Crystal?
Yeah, the longer we play, you know, the more games we play, the more time we spend together. You know, we're getting better, and we're getting more confident. We're getting more confident, and they're getting more confident in themselves and in each other. There's just you know, you can tell there's a really good vibe where they're trusting each other more now than they were before. And Crystal, yeah, you know, Crystal's always trying to make a wow pass. She's always trying to make a wow play. And I'm okay with it, as long as it works. So you can try anything you want. I don't care what you do. Better work.
Geno, we talked about pieces, rebounds, and points. Last 4 games, you had 17 assists and 1 turnover.
You know, I was worried going into the season whether Fisa would be able to play that high post spot that Gabby and Stephanie Dolson played, and I'll tell you what, she's gotten better and better and better at it. You know, I'll tell you who else has become a really good passer too, Megan Walker. So the two of them, what they had 10 assists tonight and no turnover. That's pretty good. So yeah, we've become a little bit better passing team because of those two, for sure. Yeah.
Geno,
good
at this
night.
point,
It's good
considering the opposition, how big of a game was this for you tonight?
I don't think in the big scheme of things it matters, you know. When you play a game like this, I don't know that if you win the game it means anything, if you lose the game it means anything. But I think because of the way the Baylor game played out and the way the Louisville game played out, it was kind of important that we come out of this with something that made us feel really good about ourselves. Like we didn't feel too good after the Baylor game. We didn't feel too good after the Louisville game. So today, you know, not only did we win, which obviously is the goal, I think we came out of there feeling pretty good about how we won the game. We had to battle these guys. I mean, for 30 some minutes. Yeah.
Have you noticed any common threads between the teams that really have been able to seriously challenge you? Obviously, you guys came out on top today, but for a half, you know, at least they were really pushing you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we have some deficiencies, and teams that can exploit that are gonna. Obviously, teams with a great size, we can't do anything about that. Teams that can score from a lot of different positions, we're going to struggle with that. Again, unless we make shots. If we make our share of shots, we're going to be fine. So yeah, there's a couple teams out there that, because of what they have, we can't handle, and that never used to be the case, because I always felt like no matter what they have, we got an answer for it. This is just not one of those years, and so maybe, you know, it's good that we're going through these moments where we have to try to figure out, you know, how to guard 3 guards that are way quicker than our guards, or figure out how to guard teams that, you know, are just a lot bigger than us or a lot more physical than us. And the more we learn about it, I think the better we'll be come March. But I said this earlier in the year, I never worried about what seed we were or what the matchups were. Now I'm paying attention.
Do you know along those lines, the top 16 came out tonight while you're playing?
They did?
Yeah. And if the season's
16?
already over, the top 16 teams.
Oh, okay.
You're the 5th seed overall.
5th overall.
Yeah, number 2 playing in Albany against Mississippi State.
Wow,
For now.
cool.
Does that mean anything to you? That because potentially it's gonna be tough for you guys to move up if someone doesn't lose based on what you.
So it's like college football, you mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, look, all we can do is play the teams that we have to play next. All we can do is try to win as many games as we can. And then wherever they put us, that's where they put us. You know how many years people would look at the bracket and say, I hope I'm not in Connecticut's bracket. So what am I gonna do, complain about what bracket we're in? Whatever bracket we're in, we're in. Whoever we gotta play, we gotta play. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time between now and then worrying about it. Because what are you gonna say? I wish we were in somebody else's bracket, then they beat your butt. So, we just worry about who we got next on the schedule, and then when the brackets come out, look at it. There were times when we were really, I didn't think we could lose. And then when I saw the bracket, I was like, oh man, I don't want to play that team. I hope they get knocked off. So there's always that. There's always that. And you know, whoever's bracket we are in, I don't care what our record is. They're not going to be jumping up and down saying we got Connecticut as the number 2 or 3 or 4, that matter.